Thank you, God bless you, and God bless America.
So there you go. President Trump finishing the State of the Union. A lot of fireworks. The man is impressive. I will say, I'm tired, and I don't know how he pulls all that off. He has really an unlimited energy pool that he pulls from, it seems like. Very unafraid to take on the Democrats. I mean, I think that's what I'm going to remember most out of that speech. He went after the Democrats over and over and over and over and over again, at least towards the middle, and slightly towards the beginning. And then some really warm moments towards the end, as we were talking about the awards being given out, the medals, honoring some of our bravest citizens and heroes. Kind of hit all the notes, I guess. Steve, why don't you start us off here? What were your takeaways?
I thought it was Trump's best State of the Union speech yet. I thought that it did exactly what I hoped it would do in our pre-show. I thought that it largely stayed away from the laundry list of details and policy proposals that litter most of these speeches. Instead, he went very meta. He focused on vision and differing visions and values for America and for Americans, drew very sharp contrasts, lured Democrats into a trap, which they were very anxious to go ahead and spring on themselves, having them sit down and have the likes of Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib trying to talk over him. Do not take it from someone who spent a year trying to fight Donald Trump in the 2016 primary as a strategist for the Ted Cruz campaign. Do not give Donald Trump a foil. Oh no. That's like handing Popeye spinach. That's like Hulk Hogan hulking up in the ring. Do not give Trump a foil, okay? And they did that tonight and gave him somebody to essentially riff off of. And I thought there were three money lines in this speech. I thought Democrats are for illegal aliens. I'm for America. Democrats don't want voter ID because they have to cheat to win elections. And we're going to ban child gender mutilation surgeries all over America. And I think, without question, this is the kind of vision casting our side desperately needed tonight to get back on message, to get back on mission. And I think this is exactly what the doctor ordered, is what I think.
I'm also learning. So Sage, I didn't catch her last name, but the detransitioner who was highlighted. She this gesture that she was doing. Do you guys see this gesture?
Yeah.
Apparently that's called the clocking it gesture, and so it means approval, and it's like, it sort of comes from spilling the tea. So I was looking at that and said, what is that? I didn't know that one. So yeah, Boomer Poso over here, not knowing the new thing, but apparently, yeah, I was like, is that bad? Is that good? Apparently and so she's going viral right now for doing that. And I just found some people on Twitter who are on the left. They're completely in tears that someone did the clock it gesture at the racist, Nazi, white supremacist, anti-trans State of the Union. So if they're in absolute meltdown, then he obviously must have done something really good. Totally agree with Steve on the money lines. What I'm going to remember, and look, I think it's very striking to see the Medal of Honor presented at a State of the Union. I don't think it's. I'd have to double check, but I don't think that's ever been done before. And we came in here talking about how the president was going to talk about his successes and touting his successes, and he certainly made mention of it. But what he spent more time on was highlighting regular Americans who went on to do extraordinary things. So, of course, you see champions, right, the gold medalists. You see heroes, the military members, families of the fallen, Erica Kirk, the parents of Irina Zarutska, the Angel families, the little girl Delilah who was injured when an illegal alien with a CDL crashed into her, and just finding and think of the logistics, by the way, of getting all of those people into one room, the security, the flights, hotels, etc. And I've done a little bit of this with bringing people to Turning Point. It's not easy. It's really not easy. And to be able to pull that off, everybody on one night, it's just an incredible thing to see. And, Steve said it earlier. I mean, he is the master of showmanship. He knows how to put on a show, and I think we definitely saw that tonight.
Yeah, interesting too that he did do a lot of praising, regular people, heroes and such. Didn't really praise his own people all that much. Not only did he not necessarily,
exactly.
Marco Rubio is the only one I remember in there. Really, from his cabinet that he hit. Can you remember another?
We did JD when he gave him the war on fraud. He pointed out, but you're right. It wasn't like praising. It was
it wasn't like we did this great job. Here's how we did it. It wasn't really that. It was
Pam Bondi's name never came up.
That one we should have called.
Or she should find that a blessing.
That's like
She's sitting right back there. Don't call on me. Don't call on me.
Yes. You can just pass on by me, boss.
We could have done a reverse bingo of things he will not mention.
Yes, that's always smart.
No, I think it was a strong speech by Trump. He played to his strengths. He knew that he needed to talk about immigration and the wins he had there, why the Democrats were putting back, who the victims were. He knew he needed to talk about economic issues, address affordability. Very wise of him to flip that back onto the Democrats and say, this is what you created. I'm cleaning up your mess. Here's how you made that happen. Again, we saw the same thing when it came to crime, so many other situations. Our cities are safe now because of the steps I'm taking, but I'm having to battle the Democrats at every moment. I think that was all very wise, and like everybody else here, I was really glad to see that celebration of American heroes, whether they be Olympians, whether they be victims of crimes, whether they be people who had incredible bravery in military service. That was critical, but I think, honestly, the moment that's going to stay with me for the rest of my life is watching Irina Zarutska's mother with Erica Kirk and just the pain on her face in that moment, and the fact that Democrats could not, even in that moment, summon a shred of humanity. I still don't think that we have dealt with the psychic trauma, again, of that 1-2 punch of Charlie Kirk and Irina Zarutska. And so I think that him highlighting that and showing the grief that is still there for that mother, and knowing that we need justice, we need to end political violence, we need to end the soft on crime policy. I think those were all incredibly strong moments for him, and he was wise to spend a minimal amount of time on foreign policy, something that I think is more divisive than his other stances. I think that was very wise for him to focus on those strengths and where he can improve, or when he can show that the Democrats are the cause for many of these issues.
I mean, he did not bring up foreign policy until almost 90 minutes into the speech at all. And Tyler Boyer over at TPUSA, I thought, had a devastating post on X tonight.
It's going hype. You picked it up.
Yeah.
I quote tweet.
Holy cow!
Super
it's a
viral
post
right
of
now.
one of the Democrat members of Congress who did not want to stand during that moment that you mentioned, Auron, and he's got a Ukraine flag on his lapel.
Yeah.
If that is not, a
what I wrote
portrait
is
of where
this
we
is
are.
what the Democrats actually think of the Ukrainian people.
Yeah.
And it's one thing to say, it's just, I mean, it reminds me of the old Seinfeld episode with Kramer, and he wouldn't wear the ribbon, so you'll put the ribbon on, right? You'll wear the ribbon, but do you actually care about the victims here?
Yep.
And are you even going to do anything to support them when here they are right in front of you, two parents who, I mean, talk about logistics. Did he have to get them out of Ukraine to fly here? And so, who knows, right? Who knows the logistics in getting her parents here? But the fact that they couldn't even stand up for this country that, the Empire State Building is going up in the Ukraine flag colors, and the Brandenburg Gate and the Eiffel Tower, they're all doing this big Ukraine flag thing. And here's President Trump saying, guys, it's not about this abstract, ideal that is the Ukraine. It's about a group of people living on a plot of land that people are fighting over, and they can't even find safety here in the United States. And I think it's just very sad. It's very sad that you couldn't have that. And going back a little bit to the foreign policy side, that is, I think it also strikes at some of the foreign policy aspects of this to say, look, when you go and commit one of these actions, whether it be strikes in Iran, whether it be a bombing run, or as we just saw, an entire helicopter, an entire Chinook, which that is a personnel carrier, so you potentially you could have up to 40, 45 guys in there. I don't know exactly how many they had, but they know, right? You want to get rid of a helicopter, you take out the pilot. That's obviously why they were targeting him, and they almost got him. So, we go back to, Desert One and Jimmy Carter's failed hostage rescue in the Iranian embassy crisis way back in 1979, 1980. And it really brings up those memories for people of how quickly one of these operations can go the other way.
Well, one thing that we know unites the nation is the nation's love for Joy Reid. It's something that brings us all together. Sara Gonzales.
Me for sure.
Oh, yeah, right. Thank you. Sara Gonzales, our friend, is out there with Joy Reid. I don't know what happened here. She's, of course, host of Sara Gonzales Unfiltered. She joined us during our pre-show coverage from that protest hosted by Joy. Here is what happened after we spoke with her. Take a look.
Y'all okay? How many of you remember Kilma Abelo Garcia? How many of you remember that? Raise your hands, remember, well, coming to the stage is a man who had the courage, the cojones to go and...
Joy Reid, you suck! You're a loser! MSNBC fired you because you're a loser! You suck! America first, you can't even get a sizable crowd! No one's here! It's empty! It's empty! It's empty! You're a loser! You're all mentally ill! You're simping for a criminal! He is a criminal! He is a criminal! He is a... Yes?
Who are you? Stop.
What?
Stop.
What do you mean, do I know who you are? Why are you simping for illegal criminals?
No, why are you distracted?
Because I think you guys are losers.
I think you were stumped. Why are you here? This is not your event.
Okay, it's a free country, isn't it? Is it a free country? You want to know who the fascists are?
Turn around.
You guys. You guys are the fascists. You guys are the fascists.
I don't need any arguments right now. No fighting. They're having their demonstration. Just let it be. There's no need to cause commotion right now at all. You have an opinion, that's perfectly fine. Take it elsewhere. They organized this. You did not. Understand? Over here.
Yeah, I'm walking. Oh my God. I'm trying to walk. Excuse me. Wow. My tax dollars at work. My tax dollars at work. These police officers getting in my face. Little old me.
It's amazing. Sara is
so
absolutely
good.
fearless.
It's so good. I hope she posts that online. That's going to go viral. That's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. I mean, but although I do feel bad because she sacrificed her ability to be able to be there all night to hear more of Joy Reid.
I know it would have been an amazing night.
The woman holding her hands in front of her face.
That was so good.
Like it's the first grade.
If you do this though, you can't hear me, right? Like right now, you guys can't hear me. Is that right?
Oh my gosh!
Are you saying something? I see you there.
Your
lips are moving, but it's like a
That's like my 2-year-old granddaughter, who when she does this, she thinks she's actually disappeared.
Right, yes.
And we can't see her.
She's just playing peekaboo with Sara. That's all it was.
Yes,
like I can't see you. You're not there.
Actually, when she was moving, she was like,
I'll have to say the
like Devo.
yeah,
yes.
Yeah, the cliche, of course, here's the Democrats as they promote open borders. They've set up a fence. They have border security. They have every single time, and it's like not even funny anymore. But every time when it comes to them and themselves, they do the exact same things that they refuse for the American people.
It is amazing.